That it just threw me off, man. And for 2 years, I got nowhere with my voice because of that shit.
It's the source of my regrets.
This is another video on how to improve your singing. Hi there, Phil Moufarrege here from growthevoice.com. Now, where the hell have I been? So I've been on holiday in America. I've never been there before, first time ever. So that was pretty cool. I missed you guys. I'm back ready to jump into action. And I missed the routine of getting these videos out, making music, teaching, all that stuff. So I'm back in action. When we struggle with our singing and we're like, man, okay, I've got to start figuring out how to sing. I've got to learn how to do this properly. I want to increase my range. I'm sick of straining, or I want to get a better tone, or I want to, have more power, or maybe I want to sing softer. And it's funny how I went louder when I actually said that. It was weird, right? Maybe you want to do those kind of things, and so you look into vocal technique, and you're like, okay, so I've got to get my technique better. And so you may start taking lessons, or maybe you just read things on the internet and or do books or CDs, programs. One of the first pieces of advice that I got that kind of threw me off for about 2 years, okay, was relax. All right, relax. Let it go. Relax. Get out of the way of your voice. That just threw me off, man. And for 2 years, I got nowhere with my voice because of that shit. And I've seen it happen time and time again with people. It's not that the advice is bad. It's that what we think it means is bad. All right. What do we think when we think relax? Some people it works. All right. Some people, they respond with it. I'll tell you what happened with me. It's like, okay, relax, let it go. All right. And I'm just like this, just slumped in the chair. And it's like, singing should be effortless. Okay, I'm going to put no effort into it. Singing does not feel like that, all right? It can be very confusing to think of it as a relaxed, effortless kind of thing. It's not to say that singing should be stressful or vein popping or gunning it or just like, of course not, all right? But singing should feel efficient. Think of it as an efficient golf swing, an efficient tennis swing. There is an athleticness to it, but there is a gracefulness to it as well. And singing can definitely feel athletic, especially if you're into aggressive, intense music. Like I'm like that too. I want to put everything into what I sing.
Can't talk with what I see through guys.
So it definitely does feel athletic. You will sweat. You will feel energetic. It's like how I'm speaking to you now. There is an energy into this. There is some balls put into it, right? And singing will have that kind of thing in it. So you never want to approach singing with like this kind of thing. You won't get anywhere with it, okay? So if you're expecting to increase your range, and then they're like, oh, just relax, and you're like, but there's no power in it. I'm just like, and you're like, it will grow later. If you're doing it like that, it will not grow later. If you're going, mum, 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 that does not turn in. It does not turn into that. It never does. It never grows into that. Even if you don't want to sing with a lot of power and you just want to sing with kind of like a conversational tone in your high range, it doesn't become that either, all right? You don't connect chest to falsetto and then that turns into, it doesn't turn into that. Never does, right? It doesn't. So be careful when you take statements like relax, let it go, get out of the way of your voice. Be careful how you interpret those statements. How should you interpret those statements? If somebody says relax, if somebody says get out of the way of your voice, what it means, all right, what it should mean at least, is that you use the effort necessary to power the voice, the right muscles, and you get the wrong muscles out of the way, right? So if you're going, and you're singing like, and you got this tension here, and it's tight, and your jaw's locked, that is unnecessary tension, right? You don't need to, it rings out better when I don't have that strain in the jaw, because I'm getting out of the way of the voice. That doesn't mean that I'm doing nothing. It means I'm using the muscles that should be working and avoiding the muscles that shouldn't be working. Likewise, with my breath, if I'm tight and rock hard in my solar plexus, I start to get rock hard up here, and I say, and it's all stuck and just jammed up, right? And it's all jammed up, okay? That is unnecessary. This is just constriction. You want to get rid of that stuff. It's me taking it away now, right? So this is nice and supple now. Hey! I've taken that constriction away, and I've gotten out of the way of my voice, or relaxed. I kind of don't really like the word relax, because it kind of makes you want to think that you're just kind of slumped in the chair like late at night. And you're just like that. And you're not going to sing Bruno Mars like that, right? You're not going to sing 24 karat magic in the air. That's not how it's going to roll, man. Right? Even if you're singing a very kind of relaxed and kind of just really mellow tune like this, this is kind of the energy you're going to be using for that kind of tune. There's a bit of a gracefulness or elegance to it. It's a smooth tone, but it's not this. Right? So you've got to understand that there is a degree of effort and elegance and muscular activity that's to be used. It's like ballet. Ballet looks like it's this effortless floating thing. There is sweat and blood put into that shit, man. And there is muscles that are strengthened and used. So singing is like that. So a better way to think of this, rather than relax everything, instead of that, think of singing as try to get more efficient, right? Try to remove constriction and become more efficient. So if you as you sing higher, you're going to start to feel things happen. Maybe, or you may not even feel them. You may need a teacher to go, you're doing this wrong. And you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that, until it's pointed out, and then you see it, right? You may be pulling out your vowels really wide. So you go, and then that starts jamming up your larynx and shit like that, right? Or you're trying to sing an ooh vowel, and you go, ooh, and it starts to do that, okay? Those are tensions that need to be removed, but you don't remove that by just going, relax. Ooh. You don't do it like that. That's not how you get rid of that. So for example, if I'm like, ooh, that problem is because my jaw isn't opening, so the larynx starts to jam up. So I'm going to work on opening it up. Ooh. Get those things to work. There's just small examples. So you work within that robust chest voice, and you learn how to make it efficient. You learn how to make the breathing efficient. So if you're singing consonants, you don't get jammed up on consonants and things like that. As you sing higher, you don't get... So for example, you want to keep the consonants flowing as you sing higher, so the whole thing kind of flows, instead of getting stuck like that as you sing higher. And it feels like you're just kind of shouting up, because you're getting stuck on every consonant. You're not keeping the air kind of flowing. So as I learn how to articulate smoother with the tongue, smoother with the tongue, it allows me to kind of hang up in this kind of range, and flow everything out a lot easier than doing it like this, where I'm kind of stopping on each word. And singing is a lot like that, where you've got to learn how to keep things flowing. So this video was kind of like a bit over the place. I want to give you a kind of general idea of how to be. You've got to be careful when you get advice, because you've got to understand the intention behind the advice, and if it doesn't have the right intention, you've got to replace it with the right intention. And that's what I'm trying to do with this video. I'm trying to replace it with that intention. So singing definitely does have an effort involved, and you want to learn how to make it efficient, not just let everything go, right? So letting it go really is about letting go of the wrong kinds of muscular contractions and embracing the right kinds of muscular contractions. So you do want to power. So when I sing loud, I am powering the right contractions and removing the wrong contractions. So there are muscles that have to switch on, and I've got to switch off other muscles, right? So if I'm like, and I'm singing like that, like I sing an E vowel and I go, and I'm just like that, I've got all this tension here and I'm locked up in the jaw like this because I haven't learned how to use the tongue and free the jaw. That's more relaxed, even though it's really strong, right? There is engagement happening, but it's more efficient. Does it make sense? So singing is about efficiency. And if you want to learn how to make your singing more efficiency so you can develop more vocal range, have a better tone, have more consistency in your singing night after night, have more power or more control to even go lighter, sing different songs, things like that, have more vocal stamina, then I'm up for taking lessons. Just check out my website. I do Skype lessons. I also have a course if you're into self-training, things like that. So hit me up there, and it's good to be back, man. So I'll see you next video. Take care. Moufarrege here. I'm out. See ya.